G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. The giggling you're hearing from the sidelines is Steve.
Hi guys, how's it going?
I wasn't even telling a joke. That was just for nothing. This is Steve. Steve is my husband.
Hello.
Steve is very relevant to have on today's YouTube video because I'm in my art journal, I'm in my golden book journal. And these are the ones I use for the art journaling, the magic retreats.
Oh, I love
which
those.
I've spoken about at length
Yes.
on my YouTube channel before, and I will probably continue to do so. I love this. I wanted to take a photo of Disneyland posted in honor of their birthday today.
That's right, 65 years.
Congratulations and happy birthday, Disneyland.
Yeah,
Disneyland Anaheim, California, the OG.
the OG.
So she is having
The
her
only
birthday.
park. It's the only park that Walt Disney set his footsteps in.
Okay, trivia.
Yeah.
Do I get a prize for hearing that? Anyway, so we were going to draw this today. I loved the picture because it represented the old and the new and the black and white and the color. And I know everyone's so up in arms about the new color of the castle over in Florida. And so this one is just like very violently pink. And I thought I would just, really double down on people's feelings about that pink castle and draw it in my journal today. I'm kind of adding my own little spin to it by using different mediums. On the left-hand side of the page, I'm going to do the black and white with some ink.
What is this style that you're doing? Isn't this called the?
Well, this is urban sketching because it's
Right.
technically like, you're sketching out this
That's what
architecture.
it is, urban sketching. But it's not the one where you like the line drawing thing.
Not the contour.
That's one.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, there's a one-line contour version, but I pick up my pen through this whole thing. So for me, this is just a sketch,
This
a
is
quick
like-
sketch.
Considered urban sketching.
Yeah, or people would say even like, I want to say sgraffito. I actually don't think that's the term for it, but it's just sketching.
Scroll.
It's like scribbly graffiti. Or I don't know what. I think people do that when they're doing like
just-
messy handwriting.
Just learning about this,
Yeah.
this stuff.
This stuff. Oh, I see. So yeah, no, I'm gonna do two different styles. On the other side, I'm gonna do it in pencil. And yeah, I'm giving you art journaling realness today. I love a bit of art journaling. Don't need an excuse to draw a Disneyland castle. There are many through my journals, and I think because I'm not super into urban sketching all the time, but when I do get into it, a lot of what I do is around Disneyland, just because of the fantasy of all of the architecture. It's a little bit more than drawing a building with 6 windows. It's turrets and brick and
Well, there's a lot more detail and it's a lot more
flags.
fun, and also
Yeah.
we live very nearby, so it's easy.
True.
Accessible. It's easily accessible for the most part.
Don't leak our info. We do live about 5 minutes from Disneyland, Anaheim, California. It is one of probably the only reason I actually moved to the States, to be honest.
Yeah, truly, 100%.
Just had to find someone to marry that worked there. So Steve actually does work there, and that's why I wanted him to kind of share a few, I don't know, not even fun stories, but just, I guess you were important to have on this because you work at this institution.
Yes, this institution. Although, for those of you who are just joining us and don't know a little bit about our backstory, James and I met working at Tokyo Disneyland
True.
in Japan. So,
I used to be a professional dancer, and Steve was a singer out there.
yes. And so, our story is
To be fair,
Disney
though,
related.
we met there, but it wasn't until we had gone to Disneyland in California that we'd kind
correct.
of decided that we should,
Be in love.
No. Such a strong word for a married couple. Yeah, no, so Disneyland actually holds more of that story. This
Yeah.
one. It was World of Color, which is Disney, the California Adventure Park just across from Disneyland.
Yeah.
But technically same property, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
we've got a lot of memories in there, and I have an annual pass that Steve makes sure I have so that I can go and watch him at work.
Yeah.
Very selfishly motivated, although I do really enjoy it. And then art journaling the magic has been something that I've been getting into for the past couple of years, and I think it's about a year and a half now, maybe even just a bit longer. And I've loved doing lots of the retreats and lots
This
of
is
the
so fun.
Disney
You always
content.
Yeah, you always come back with something very. You always leave and come home very inspired once you've done an art journaling magic retreat.
And I always think, oh, wouldn't it be lovely if I could just leave everything else behind and only do this forever now? But, you can't have too much of a good thing.
Right.
You have to go back to work eventually. Although my work is art journaling, so the irony. But I love a bit of urban sketching, especially in the Disneyland parks. And I love to notice all of the details because it's one of those things, we've kind of been talking about this in Virtual Voyage this past week. Our hybrid workshop / experience, and about the influence and the amount of different creative disciplines and the amount of different creative voices that can be involved in one project.
Yes.
So we were talking about fashion editorials, and you've got the lighting designers, the fashion
Correct.
designers, the makeup artists, the photographer, like all these different people that come with their own set of creative skills and visions and voices that are all completely unique. To work together for one purpose. Now, Disneyland is probably one of the most elaborate examples of that.
It's on like a very large scale.
Right. The smallest of details could have had 6 different opinions and voices in that, and it shows. Everything is so curated and thorough.
It's very specific.
There's nothing there that
No.
just exists to exist. There is a reason for it
It's
all.
all there's a very heavy level of intentionality that
You'd love
exists.
that.
Yeah, exists throughout the park.
Steve's very focused on details. It wasn't until I got into Art Journaling the Magic and I did a lot of urban sketching that I actually realized the amount of detail that went into something like the texture of a door handle, because it had to make sense for the part of the park that it was in. And even
Right.
Britt, when we did one of the Art Journaling the Magic lessons, she was talking about because she loves florals, and so her lesson was based in florals, and we went to the different parts of the park, and she was actually explaining like certain flowers were put there not only because they look a certain way, they're pretty, but they're actually the names of those flowers relate to the part of the park they're in.
Right.
So Fantasyland has flowers that are even named fantastical things that would relate and make sense there. Like, who knows that when you're just going as a 15-year-old trying to get all the fast passes?
Sure. I
Like,
mean, you see, but the things you do actually see it. You notice that something's different or
You
something's
feel it.
unique. You feel it, but you don't know exactly what it is. And I think even part of the intentionality is when Walt created the park, he wanted the park to exist within the 5 senses, and also that there's a term that we use called the berm, and when you're inside the berm, which is the border around the park, that the only world that you can see exists within Disneyland. So that's why when you're in Disneyland, you can't see outside. The way it's built up with the certain trees and the foliage,
Your
is that
sight lines.
your sight lines are only within that world.
and it's actually really funny because we live close. When we go over the bridge, just that goes
Yeah.
over the highway, it's so weird to be able to see in.
Yeah.
Knowing that when you're in there, you don't even
can't
think
see
about
out.
what's outside.
Right. So everything is very specifically moved and designed and curated so it fits in there. But going back to the senses, is that Walt wanted everybody to truly feel like you are immersed in that world. That's why there's, what are the 5 senses? Sight,
who
smell,
knows?
touch. Who, what, where, when, why. But
Did this have to become a lesson?
No, but I think it is really incredible because, for touch and for feel, that's why the terrain of the various lands feels different. It feels different on your feet. So you know that you're in a different space in Tomorrowland or Fantasyland versus Frontierland or Adventureland. And you even look down and you see the horseshoes indentation in Frontierland and whatnot. And then you also have the smells and how they pump certain smells to make it evoke a feeling when you're going down Main Street, etc. So it's going back to the details, it's all very thought out, specifically even within the flowers. And like in Tomorrowland, they wanted it to be a future world, and so that's why the foliage is edible.
And it's kind of on a detail that I'm sure if you've had anything to do with Disney before, you will know that carries through the entire company. And I mean, Steve and I both worked in Tokyo at the Disneyland Resort, and Steve has worked here in Anaheim, and I've worked on Disney Cruise Line. But in all 3 places, your focus is the same, your mission is the same, the principles and the ideas are the same. There really is that company value
The
of
branding,
creating
Yeah.
this fantasy
Correct.
and acting in it. That's why they call everyone cast members.
Yeah.
Acting in it as though it is real and that it exists in this world. And to be honest, how did you feel about this? Because I always felt like when I worked for Disney, I would start to think I wouldn't enjoy it as much anymore.
Oh, I love it.
I have such an extra added detail of appreciation for it. And look, we're totally biased because we work in entertainment and it's super fun. So I can't speak for everyone here, but my own personal experience is that the more I got involved in it, the more the magic was even more magical for me.
Yeah, 100%.
because I was even aware, like, some of the duties and responsibilities I had, especially on Disney Cruise Line. I know how much work goes into creating that experience,
Mm-hmm.
so that when I would be the recipient of it, it would be even more special because I was like, wow,
Because you
all
know
these people
exactly
are
what goes
working for me to be
right.
happy right now.
It's a
Even my
pretty.
mum loved it, and
Oh yeah,
she thought she was going on a Looney Tunes
tunes.
cruise.
It's the
So
wrong one.
fun little segue. My mum did come all the way from Australia with my stepdad to go on a cruise, the Disney cruise that I was working on, the Disney Fantasy, and she was at the sail away party, and she goes, "Oh, it's the wrong one." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "Where's Tweety Bird and Daffy Duck?" And I was like, "This is Disney." And she goes, "Oh." And I thought, "Oh no, what did you just get yourself into?" I mean, if you can't even stand Disneyland, I mean, you don't want to be on a Disney cruise
Right.
ship because that is immersive. Like
Right.
you don't get to go home
You don't get to
from
leave it. You're there always.
yeah, the Disney Fantasy is real 24/7 until you get off the ship. And then even then you got to come back to the ship. Although I will say it is possibly a touch more magical in the sense that there is that opportunity to live in that experience. And when some of the when some of the experiences you can have on the ship are multi-day experiences where you can become familiar with guests.
Sure.
I think that adds a little
adds
extra
depth
touch that
to the
you
magic.
can't, that I don't think you could actually get in a theme park. Which I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying there are actual differences to the experiences you get depending on where you
Sure.
go. I mean, even Disneyland in Tokyo is licensed through Disney.
Correct.
But the operating company is Oriental Land Company. So their ideas and culturally how Tokyo operates different to Anaheim
Correct.
is reflected in that experience.
Right, and I think also when you kind of say that, it makes it really important. It makes it feel really special. I think that's why there's such a charge for cast members of we create happiness and the constant idea of the integrity of magic and maintaining the magic, and because it is something that is so special and so revered, and it really does in a lot of ways change people's lives and experiences. And so I'm super thankful for the experiences that I've had there as a guest and as a cast member, and it brought a lot of joy into my life, so I'm thankful for it. And
Truly.
it's so fun, and I'm so excited that it's been around for 65 years. It's crazy.
The first time I went to Disneyland in Anaheim, that was my first Disney experience.
Were you disappointed by the size of the castle?
I was so confused. Australians always get the Disney World ads, or at the start of the VHS
Right.
video was the Disney World ad, and they'd show the big golf ball thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Epcot.
that's what I'm going to see. When I first came here, I thought, uh-oh, my mum's bought like discount tickets to some fake Disneyland. Because she would. No, we went. I did eventually find out that was the original, so that kind of saved it for me. But I waited about 3 hours in line for Dumbo with my sister,
Oh,
and I thought,
no.
oh, this is not what I thought it was. I did end up enjoying it. What I loved most was the entertainment, and that kind of still rings true today. And I have a lot more of a deeper appreciation. But I was 15 at that age. I don't know if
15.
I was
You want to
really
go on a roller
ready.
coaster, right?
15 or 16, I think. No, I think I was turning 16 that year, but I was still 15. Yeah, and it was a huge all-American adventure. Like, it wasn't just Disneyland. We didn't just come here to do that. We were in San Francisco. We were in Vegas. We were in Hawaii. We were exhausted. So, yeah, but I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
When was the first time you went to Disneyland?
Oh, like 2 years old, 2 or 3.
Oh, wow. So you wouldn't remember it.
We have photos of me. I think I might have actually been 3 years old. And I loved it. I grew up in Northern California, and so we would make the drive down about 6 hours. Grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. And
Through the
then,
Grapevine?
Yeah, down through the Grapevine, and would come down. And we had, my mom's best friend lived in the area, and so it was kind of a multi-experience opportunity to connect with her, and then also come to Disneyland. So we would grow up coming quite often.
Well, there you go. Well, let us know in the comments below if you've been to any Disneyland resort or any Disney experience that you'd like to share, and let us know the age you were when you first did it or your first memories from it, if you would like to share with us. Otherwise, that's it for us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Can't wait for Disneyland to reopen.
Fun fact, Disney, on the Disneyland's first day, it only cost $1.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah,
I
leave you
can't
with
wait
that.
to celebrate it again another time. Bye.
Bye.